everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have 5 super easy high-end Christmas DIYs to share with you that I think you're really going to enjoy. And 2 of them you could actually leave up year-round. So if you want to know how to make them, stick around. I'll show you how. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And be sure and give me a thumbs up because it really does help my channel. Thanks.
Okay, for this first one, I'm going to start with a 15-inch round piece of wood that I got at Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to paint it with the Cottage white chalk paint. And I'm painting up and down with the grain. I'm not going to go across, so make sure that you do go with the grain of your wood. And this did take several coats to get this completely covered. Okay, and to keep from having brush marks, I'm just spritzing it with some water and then just going back over it. This kind of makes it smooth out. It keeps it from having any kind of brush marks on it. Okay, and I'm going to paint the sides, and I'm going to go ahead and paint the back as well because I do want this to be a finished out piece. Okay, next I'm coming in with some Parisian gray and a chip brush, and I'm just going to kind of distress it a little bit. And then I'm going to spritz it with some water as well, and then just kind of smooth out my lines there. It just softens it up a little bit. Okay, next I got these Roman numerals on Amazon, and I'll give you the link for those below. But if you have a Cricut, you can just cut these out with your Cricut and put these on. These are like 3D little numbers. They really do look nice. It took me a while to get my Roman numerals on my board, but after you get them put on your board, then we're going to just go ahead and start gluing them on. And then I'm just using E6000 glue to attach each one of those letters to the board. And then you want to go ahead and remove any of the excess glue around it as you're doing this. If you let it get a little bit tacky, you can use a toothpick and you can pull it up pretty easily. And then I'm just using a pencil there to kind of mark my spots so I can keep up with where I'm putting my letters. Okay, next I'm going to take that same paint and I'm just going to distress the letters with that same Cottage white paint. This just kind of softens it up and gives it a little bit of more a vintage look to it. But I did put quite a bit of paint on these. Okay, next I got this wreath at Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going to attach it with a ribbon right down the center. And I'm just going to use some ribbon, and I'm just going to go right up over the top of the numbers, and I'm going to staple it to the back. Just make sure that you do get it centered really well, and then I'm going to take a 3D glue dot to attach it to the back part of the wreath just to hold it in place. And that was pretty much it. Pretty easy. Really love the way this one turned out. This is something that you could actually leave up year-round. Let me know what you think in the comments. This one, I'm going to take 2 of the acrylic deer from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to spray paint them with Rust-Oleum Oil Rub Bronze paint. Okay, next I'm going to take some Modern Masters brass metallic paint, and I'm just going to take a sponge and I'm just going to sponge it on these. I'm just trying to make it look a little bit like metal. So you want to make sure that you still show some of the bronze through there, but just kind of sponge it on there. And you could use the Rub and Buff as well that they have at Hobby Lobby. Anything that's metallic you could use. Okay, next I'm just coming in with some boxwood garland that I got on Amazon. I'll give you the link for this, and I'm just putting a wreath right around each one of their necks. And I did 2. I thought the cluster of 2 looked good together. This was a pretty easy project, but I thought that they turned out really nice. I think this looks like something that you could find at Pottery Barn, actually, or even Restoration Hardware. Yeah, I think those turned out super cute. Let me know what you think in the comments. You could actually remove the wreath after Christmas and leave them up year-round. Okay, for this one, I'm going to use some wood that measures 3/8 inches thick by 2.5 across by 24 inches. And I'm going to lay them out 4 of them like this. And on the 5th one, we're going to cut it and go across. We're making some shutters. And before we get going on them, we're going to sand them. Okay, and to sand them, I've got this tool from Weber. It's a belt sander, and then it has a disc sander on the side. And I'm just going to push my wood up against it to kind of sand it. Now, this is really good if you don't have a lot of hand strength because it pretty much works itself. All you have to do is just guide your wood across it. Now, this is more of a shaping type sander, not a finishing sander, but it works real good. So you have a disc sander on the side and a belt sander on the front. It's great for small projects, because all you have to do is just hold it up there. Okay, and this has attachments with it so that you can sand at an angle. It has a place where you can hook a shop vac to it to collect your shavings. For the price, I thought it was a pretty good tool. I think I'll be using it a lot. To attach these, I'm just going to use some wood glue, and I'm just going to run it down one side of each piece of this wood and attach these. Now, you're going to want to clamp these because you do want this to be completely pulled together tightly. And you don't have to use a lot of wood glue. Just a little bit goes a long way. And I'm just attaching it with a little popsicle stick. And you do want to take some time to make sure you do get them completely lined up good. And then we're going to clamp them. Just pull it tight enough so that they are stuck together. You don't want to pull it so tight that they bow, but you want to get it pulled tight enough that they do cinch together. And you want to go ahead and clean up any glue that comes up through it. You make sure you get all that glue off of there. After that's dried, we're going to take our other piece of wood and we're just going to come straight across it and mark it at the edge. We're just going to put one at the top and one on the bottom. Just kind of take a pencil, mark it there, and then do the same thing on the opposite side. Then I'm going to go to my sander and I'm going to cut them. Okay, after I cut them, I went ahead and sanded both ends. To attach our two short pieces, we're going to come 2 inches down from both ends. And we're just going to attach these with wood glue as well. And you might want to make a mark on it so you know exactly where it goes when you get ready to glue it. And then we're going to clamp them just like we did the first ones. And if you don't have clamps, you could actually just put a stack of books on top of this. You just want to make sure it's something's heavy enough to hold it flat. And then you're going to go ahead and do the same thing for the opposite end. Just going to come 2 inches in on that end as well, and then we're going to clamp them. But I would highly recommend investing in some clamps. They're not that expensive. Okay, once those have dried, I'm going to go ahead and paint these with a Cottage white chalk paint. And this did take a couple of layers of paint to do this. You just make it as white as you want it to, or you can make it, you know, a little bit clear where you can see the wood grain under it. It's totally up to you. But just go along the grain of the wood. Try to make sure that you are going with the grain. I'm going to take a chip brush and that same Parisian gray I used previously and try to get all of that, as much of that off of your brush before you start. And then do your high places first, kind of get those a little bit darker than the rest of it. And then go ahead and start distressing the rest of it. But you want to try to get your brush, most of that paint off of there. You just want a little bit so it does look more natural. And these little chip brushes work great for this. Okay, next I'm just going to add a little bit of hardware to this just to kind of dress it up a little bit. And I'll give you the link for these. I got these on Amazon. And I'm just putting two on each side of the top part and the bottom part. And then I'm going to pre-drill my holes so that I can go ahead and put my screw in there. You want to go ahead and pre-drill your holes because it'll make it a lot easier for you if you do that. Okay, then go ahead and attach your screws, and you're going to put them on the top part and then put them on the side too. Now, they're going to be a little bit harder on the side, but you're going to have to pre-drill your holes, but you can get them to set pretty flat. And I just got this wreath at Hobby Lobby, and I'm just taking this ribbon, and I'm just going to attach this with this ribbon to this shutter. And I did 2 of these because I wanted them to be side by side on my mantle. Just kind of make sure that you do get your wreath pretty centered in the center, and then we're going to use some tacks to actually attach it to the board. And we're just going to kind of fold the ribbon back so you can't see it, maybe like 2 times back, And then we're going to attach it with some just tacks. And we're going to put one tack on each side. And these are called cut tacks. I got these at Lowe's. Just kind of push it in there, get it started, and then just hammer it in. And then get your finger out of the way, otherwise you will hit it like I just did right there. I really love the way that these turned out. This is another one that you could actually leave up year round. You could change out the wreath each season. This next one, I'm just taking a mug that I got at Dollar Tree, and I'm going to spray paint it with some Rust-Oleum Farmhouse white paint. Okay, next you're going to take some floral foam and you're going to start putting it into the mug, and you're going to start building it up. Now you're going to have levels, so you want your back to be taller than your front. And I actually started adding my greenery and figured out I needed to come in a little bit higher. So you want the back to be probably about at least 2 inches above the mug, and you want the front to probably be about 1 inch above the mug. So I'm going to start adding my greenery, and then I put my little house in. Then I figured out I needed to go a little bit taller. I'm just going to put some greenery around the back and around the sides, just to kind of hold everything up. And then that's where I put my house on there. But I did go back and change it up a little bit and add a little bit more. And you can get these little houses just about anywhere. And I think I got those houses at Hobby Lobby. And this greenery I bought on Amazon, you get quite a big bag full for the money. And it goes a long way. I've used this in a lot of projects, and it does go a long way. And then right here is where I figured out I started needing to add a little bit more foam to build it up a little bit higher. And you can kind of see how high I'm going now. I'm adding probably another at least inch to the back and another inch to the front. You just want to kind of fill it in so you can get some height. That way you'll have a little bit more depth in this. And then just start adding things to it so that you can kind of fill in where you don't see any of the foam. And add different textures. You know, adding a lot of different textures and a lot of different colors of the greenery really made it look good. Just kind of play with it. Adding little trees is great because it makes it look more like it is a house. And then I added some eucalyptus. I'll give you the link for all the greenery that I use. I got most of it on Amazon. But you can get a lot of that at Hobby Lobby as well. Just start filling it in, and, you know, putting some color in there is great too. And you could do these so many different ways. You could put little Christmas ornaments in it. You could put pine cones in it. I put a couple little sticks in the back, just kind of giving it a winter scene. Okay, this one was pretty simple, but it did turn out really nice. I really love the way that it looks. Let me know what you think in the comments. This would be a great gift for somebody as well. And for this next one, I'm just going to take these Dollar Tree angel wings, and I'm going to pull all the fur off of them. And they popped off pretty easy. Okay, next I'm going to spray paint them with some Rust-Oleum Farmhouse white paint. Okay, then I'm taking a piece of wood that measures 5.5 by 24, and I'm going to stain it with some dark walnut stain. And I'm going to do the sides and the back also on this. And I'm just using a regular cloth, cotton cloth, like a t-shirt. It goes on pretty smooth, and you can smooth it out pretty nicely. So I'm going to take some 2-inch wooden rings. I'm just going to flatten out one side of them. That way I can mount it to my board and it sets flush, and we're making halos. And then we're going to spray paint these with the exact same paint we did with the wings, which was the Farmhouse white paint. I just kind of evenly spaced out my wings, and I'm going to attach these with some E6000 glue. Just kind of along on one of the edges where it actually touches the piece of wood. And then I'm going to use a little bit of hot glue on it as well. And then do all 3 of those wings the same exact way.
Okay, next I'm just going to attach a little halo just above the wings. And I actually should have gone a little bit farther up because I am adding some fur, and you'll see it here in a little bit. And I'm just attaching these with hot glue. Okay, next I'm just going to attach some white trim to this, and I got this on Amazon. I'll give you the link for it, and we're just going to go right across the top part of all the wings. And then there's a piece of fabric in the center of it, and I'm going to cut that out. That fabric right there, you see, you're going to cut it all the way down, right down to where the fur is, and then we're going to just kind of pull that out. And that'll open up that fur so that we can glue it together so it's just a solid piece. And you can use a furry yarn or anything you want to with this. But I'm just going to open it up, and I'm going to run a bead of glue down the center of it just to hold it all together. Just going to start at the corner and then just go all the way across the top, and then make that V shape in there as well. Don't just go straight across, come down and make the V as well. And we're going to do this for all three of those wings. Okay, next I'm going to take some garland and a little bell, and I'm just going to make a little wreath shape out of it. And I got these on Amazon also. I'll give you the link for these. These bells actually were pretty cute. You could use those in a lot of different projects. And then I'm just going to glue this under the first set of wings right to my board. I'll make another little wreath, that's just a small one, to put right underneath the second set of wings. I love the way that these turned out. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you have a Cricut, you could actually put the word angel wings on it. But just to kind of recap some of the things that I did, I hope you liked the video today. If you do like these kind of videos, be sure and give me a like, subscribe, and ring that bell to be notified when I have a new video upload. Thank y'all so much for watching. I really appreciate it.